Close the door. How we doing? How we doing? Mush the Line. I'm retweeting the stream right now, and I'm gonna make Frank come in here once he gets here. All right, Mush the Line. Today we got Michael Quinn on the show, aka Feltmans Hot Dogs. So right away, start. How are you, Feltmans Hot Dogs?
Well, we revived it. I'm a Coney Island native and historian, and we revived this brand, and we probably told this a million times, like on all the news stations, and me and my brothers growing up in southern Brooklyn, Coney Island area, we wanted to start a business, and tragically my little brother Jimmy died in 9/11.
Sorry about that.
My brother Joe was at West Point, did 12 years in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then we made this pact that we were going to bring this hot dog back. But the cool thing is, you know, when I brought this back, I mean, I was bootstrapping. Like, I was like, jumped in my car, went to New England. I was just like doing 2 or 3 supermarkets a day. It's kind of like, you know, like the rock star, he goes on his first tour, but he's not a rock star yet. And he's sitting and he's staying at the cheap hotels. So anyway, it was like 2018. Never heard of Barstool in my life. Spring 2018. I just get back from a tour of New England promoting Feltmans Hot Dogs. My phone's blowing up. It's my brother Joe, my partner, Feltmans. Yeah. And I'm listening to this message. It was this garbling, incoherent. It was this garrulous message. Couldn't understand what the hell he was talking about. He said something. Some guy balls, Glenny, had his bar stool. His balls were on the bar stool. I'm like, what the hell is? Did he drop peyote or something? What is my brother talking about? So Glenny Balls went to McSorley's Ale House, where I used to work at, and where they sell Feltmans, and that's where I introduced Frank the Tank to Feltmans. Yeah. And he was doing the burger review, and then they just threw a Feltmans hot dog in front of him, and he said, "This is probably the best hot dog I've had in my life." So that was like kind of our introduction to Barstool. And then I met Tank through a group called Hot Dog Nation. It's a Facebook group where it's funny, it's all retired like guys from like Jersey.
Wait a second.
There's an actual group called Hot Dog Nation.
And naturally, Frank the Tank
is in the group.
He's not the
I
commissioner.
was promoting Feltmans. He was promoting just eating hot dogs in general and going to places. It exists. And it's all these retired Jersey guys who basically gatekeep their own favorite hot dogs. Like if they have a brand, they gatekeep it. Like, oh no, these are mine, you know? So everyone eventually gets kicked out of it, the group, because they don't like your opinion or whatever. So we were
the hot dog community is that cutthroat.
It's very, very cutthroat, and I worked in many places, and yeah. It's
wait, I want to explain this. Yeah. So you worked in many places. You have your own. This is yours. Feltmans is yours.
My brother and I own the brand. It's the fastest growing hot dog company in the nation right now. And yeah, I'm a Coney Island historian. I always wanted to bring this name back. Now, if people don't know that Feltman invented the hot dog. Nathan worked for Feltman. Feltman was the largest restaurant.
The actual hot dog.
Actual.
This
not
is
Nathan.
not
okay.
So Nathan's a scumbag.
Not. Can I do something right now?
I would love for you to do whatever you.
Siri, who invented the hot dog? You could see it right there. What does it say?
Charles Feltman.
Nathan worked for Feltman.
So
Nathan screwed Feltman. Nathan had steal the recipe, create a cheaper, crappier version of this for half the price, and then the Depression hit. So we actually brought it back. So basically, and this is America's first hot dog. It's a world-class hot dog. Also, we don't put that pink slime in it. We naturally smoke it. There's no nitrates. It has the snap. I mean, this is like the Tom Ford of hot dogs. Huh. It really is. You know.
This is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Tom Ford.
I only have one question on the hot dog community.
Yeah.
How does the hot dog community? You've been in the business a long time. How does the hot dog community feel about the word glizzy?
Glizzy. I mean, it's a new thing. I mean, anything to sell it. Like Feltman called them Coney Island Red Hots.
Okay.
I like them. And everyone gets all this whole thing. You shouldn't call it a sandwich. I see menus from Feltman's where the hot dog was invented, and sometimes referred to in the menus as a Frankfurter sandwich.
Really?
So it doesn't really matter. I don't give a shit what you call it as long as you buy them.
That's true. My grandmother called them Frankfurters.
Frankfurters, yeah.
You ever heard of that?
I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a German thing, right?
Yes. Well, Feltman was from Germany. He was a baker, and he started selling them right after the Civil War from a pie cart, and ended up owning the largest restaurant in the world. You know, and you know, I was just thinking, man. You know,
where was Feltman like after that time? Where was what happened to Feltman?
It went out of business in 1954, but he died in 1910.
Gotcha.
And his sons took it over. The area changed. You have to understand, Coney Island was the birthplace of the amusement industry. The hot dog, the roller coaster was all invented there. All those places went out of fashion once people could fly to Miami. Once people could, you know, people said
to get a hot dog.
just a vacation in general. Have a hot dog on a beach, and that's the genius of Feltman because he knew that people could walk the beach with it. They could feed a baby. They could ride a carousel. It's a very New York thing to walk and eat. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
I grew up never lived in the rest of my life
I don't
in New York
agree
City.
with walking and eating. I don't think it tastes as good when you walk.
It doesn't. But if you ever seen the
sit
opening
down.
scene of Saturday Night Fever, what
Do
is Tony
agree with
Manero
giving
does,
babies
walking
hot
with the
dogs.
slice, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Totally. But I was always thinking, man, and I'm sure Frank will agree, man, if Barstool ever acquired Feltmans, this would like triple in value. Like anywhere Barstool, like whether it's casinos, whether everywhere Barstool, and if Tank and I hit the road, right? We hit the road and we promoted Feltmans. Let's say we're doing tailgating parties. Tank and I, we do arenas, we do parties, VIP events. We'd be unstoppable because I'm the original. I'm the guy who sold. And I'm telling you, Tank and I would have groupies. We'd have legitimate groupies.
Do you think Frank the Tank doesn't already have groupies?
Well, no.
got groupies,
Feltman's groupies are different, bro, because you got the wiener involved.
Yeah,
okay?
that's true.
So,
What's a Feltman's group?
well, we'll find out. But I think
Is Frank in? Where's Frank?
I told him to come in if he's hitting before 11:20. Something to come in.
Frank and I would make Dan Blazarian look like an altar boy.
Yeah,
we hit the road. I mean,
Frank-
we would.
He gets top tier pussy.
He does.
Who were we going to lunch with the other day that said they love
Big F.
Big F?
Yeah.
Big F said
You sent me, or your team sent me dogs, bratwurst. They're delicious.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah. We got the bacon too.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
Yeah,
bacon.
so-
That's right. You sent me bacon.
Yeah,
too.
we started with the bacon.
I did bacon cheeseburgers that night.
Guys, I didn't know how to dress when I came in here because every time I see you guys in video, it looks like a bunch of Eskimos. Everyone's got like a hat on, a
cold.
hoodie.
It's cold.
Like, I'm not that hot, but I was gonna bring my freezy freakies. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know if the hot dogs in it. That's why I got the coffee.
I
But
think-
every video, everyone's got like a hoodie on, a hat.
Yeah, it's
Like,
cold.
Who's your
I think I can
competitor?
do that.
Who's your competitor?
Well, you know what it is? The biggest, when we got into Whole Foods, that was a big deal for us. And everyone always told me, if you could only get to Whole Foods, that's like almost like getting an investment in Shark Tank. I never thought it would happen. We got in right before the pandemic, and everyone was like panic buying. And right off the bat, we just sold like hell in Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Whole Foods, you don't compete with the world, the corporate, the big names like the Oscar Mayers and the Nathans. They don't take those brands
Exactly,
in because
yeah,
of perception.
you're right.
So we don't have much competition at Whole Foods. We're also down in Publix with the official hot dog of the Florida Panthers.
Wow.
We're also
huge.
official. We're
That's pretty good.
We're also the official. Don't tell Frank. Oh, he probably knows that. He loves the Devils. But we're also the official hot dog of Army West Point. So we're the fastest-growing hot dog company in the nation. We're in thousands of supermarkets.
I can't stare at these hot dogs anymore.
Grab a bite.
I have to eat. Is everyone?
And some people may be wondering what this is. This is my new magazine, and it's called Wiener. And I always
like
thought
one?
the same way I always thought that there should be a hot dog brand called Feltmans. I'm like, why isn't there like a magazine called Wiener? And then all my friends, my guy
good.
friends in Chelsea, are like, is that about us? I'm like, well, it could be if you want, but it's actually about it. So anyway, if you see the shirt here, it says Wiener, but it says show us your Wiener mag. So it's actually show us your Wiener mag. So I had like Steve Shrippa on the first.
So are you about to be?
Oh, Bobby Malkla!
Yeah, he was in the
Oh
Wiener
yeah,
mag.
he's coming on in April.
And then me and Mikey Betts. Mikey Betts, we do a podcast called Guess
How
Who's
you
Coming to
feel about
Dinner.
this?
That's scary. That's a crime. I'm gonna call 911 right now.
Yep.
I'm on
Yes.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm on a diet, so I
Okay,
just want
it's all right.
to throw this bread.
I got these buns at a place called Jack's. Not the place that Dave hates, but there's a place Jack's that it would like they're like 99 cents. I
I'm
don't
on
know
a
what the buns.
What's the? Give me a rating, Jack.
It's a fucking good dog, bro.
It's a good dog.
It doesn't
good-
repeat on you.
It's a good
you know.
snap.
When's the Feltman's hot dog competition coming? And what do you think about the Nathan's one?
Well, you want to hear something funny? I'm good friends with Kobayashi. And one
Oh.
night, you're gonna love this
Kobayashi.
story. Listen to this. I took Kobayashi to McSorley's Ale House one night, and it was a blast. We ended up in the gossip column, the Daily News, the next day. All these bros that like by the table recognized, and we got up, and these guys were lining up hot dogs at McSorley's like they were shots, and he was going, and some guys like, what the fuck, And we had such a blast, But he loves these hot dogs, but he said he wouldn't do well with them. You know why? Because Nathan's is so greasy and slimy. It's like taking a
to
pill; it
get
goes
down.
down your throat. This is real beef.
Yeah.
Like this is lean cuts of top round, smoked and hickory wood chips and a lamb casing. It's a German sausage.
Very good.
As opposed to.
You're
that-
right
that-
about
that
you're right
other
about the
stuff.
snap.
I know.
The snap.
I noticed
is
it.
what
I
you
noticed
know.
it when he sent it to me.
You did?
It's a 9.6 dog.
It's a good dog.
It's a good dog,
I
man.
Beat my
love
meat,
the
I'm
dog.
telling you.
Dudes also did
The
a really good
bratwurst
job
is
cooking these
great,
as well.
too.
Is that great? Yeah.
All right,
Very
you
good.
got it. Courtesy to the chef.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dukes
chef?
to make a dog be good. It's a good dog.
Yeah.
I turned a dog into a glizzy.
I don't like boiling them, and I think
Thank you.
there's two ways you do it. You either put
really
it like
like
on a
that.
griddle or on a barbecue.
Yeah.
The barbecue's phenomenal.
what I use,
Like when that
barbecue.
flame licks that casing and it gets crispy on the outside, and you bite into it, it pops open like a water balloon, and the juices are flowing
What did I
down
tell
your
you
mouth.
before we came in here?
He said
It's absolutely
just-
phenomenal.
Middle snap.
The
No, he
snap
was
is
like,
important,
tell me
yeah.
if it's boiled, I don't
Yeah,
want it.
no go.
And
No
I
go.
was like, no,
Worst
it's
food on the
grill.
planet.
Yeah,
Well,
but you know, when first time Tank had them, I was there, and he gave it. It was the first Grand Slam, and we went to. He never heard of McSorley's. He never heard of Feltmans. I said, I'm going to take you now, and he did a whole video on it. I guess for whatever for Barstool. And it was 11 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, and Fred Savage was in the other room.
Of course he was.
directing a Netflix, and I have it on video. And here's 11 o'clock, only McSorley's. And here's Frank, and he goes, "These are a Grand Slam!" And you look in the back, and Fred Savage is looking like, what the hell? What's this dude
yelling.
doing? Like eating hot dogs and screaming at the front of this place. It was just an absolute
So
riot.
is there a lot of? Is it almost like a turf war on with hot dogs? Like people coming after you, like Nathan's coming after you, or there's not. If you think about it, there's not many like hot dog brands. You know what
There
I mean?
aren't. You
Like
don't-
known hot dog.
See,
brands.
my brother had this intention almost like 10 years ago when you had all the breweries and they were being bought up, right? And it was kind of the same thing. There's only like 4 or 5 national brands. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's definitely room for the world's first America's original hot dog and a better version of it, you know?
I'm thinking
But-
it's Nathan's, it's Feltman's.
Kinda
Shake
tough.
Shack. Shake Shack doesn't have a bad
Filming-
dog. but why do
filming
they- why do
Vienna,
they
Vienna
call-
beef, and they cut it in
Yeah,
half.
they
I don't
cut
like
it in
that
half.
stuff.
It's
They use
bullshit.
Vienna beef.
They
But
use Vienna beef.
Nathan's, for years on their marketing materials, would always put that Nathan worked for Feltman. The day my brother and I bought the rights to Feltman's name, they totally took it off.
Did you hear that? That
I have a copy of the
Feltman created the hot dog, but
Nathan
Nathan,
worked-
stole it.
I didn't know that.
Nathan went out and made it really, really famous. Not that it wasn't. It was famous at Feltman's, but it was just Feltman's. It was a large restaurant.
Yeah.
They sold more than hot dogs. They had actually a German beer garden, a roller coaster, went through the maple trees down to the beach, and it was a resort. It was like Italy on the beach with a hotel and
Yeah.
restaurant. It was a. And when Coney Island ceased to become a resort town, it became like the nickel empire. So everything, and the subway ride, Nathan's hot dog was a nickel. So it became like the poor man's food. But when Feltman brought it, it just kind of helped him create this empire for many years. But Nathan worked as a bun slicer there. He worked as a meager bun slicer with Jimmy Durante and Eddie Cantor, and then he went down the block with George Isles and undercut him. You know,
So
but we're back.
how do you just create a hot dog? I don't get how. Like, how do you just get a hot dog?
Well, you know, it's like anything else,
It's
right?
a good question.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna start a hot dog company,
Mhm.
how do I start it?
Well, you have these things called co-packers, right? Nathan's has them. Everyone has them. So, and this is what most brands. I don't care if it's a cracker or a cookie brand. Most of them don't make their own stuff. There's these facilities that make food.
Yeah.
And then you just tell them how you want it, either a specific recipe and then they make it. You pay for it. You buy for the labels, and that's pretty much how it works here. So basically, yeah, I don't make them at home in my kitchen. Obviously,
I feel like people do.
Where
think
did you
that,
make
though.
these today?
These came from, I stole these from my mother, actually.
I
I
made
stole
them.
from, but these, yeah, they're packaged. They're online. But you know, if you go to Whole Foods, we're in all the Whole Foods. I think pretty much nationwide. You know,
Awesome.
And you have a place in Jersey, correct? Is that where you have Feltman's?
no, we don't have a place in Jersey.
I
No,
thought you had a place in Jersey.
no, we have a TWA Airport. There's a location there.
Oh, yeah.
Where else are we? Are we in? I don't know. We're a whole bunch of. We're not that many restaurants, but mostly supermarkets at this point, and online. If you go to Feltmans.us or
Is that where
FeltmansHotDogs.com.
most of your sales are, online or in the grocery
Probably
store?
Whole Foods,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
But you know, we sell a lot of merch online, hats, and you know, the stuff you can't find in the supermarket, like the brats and the
Yeah,
bacon
those are
you
good.
could get
Those are great,
online.
yeah.
You know,
I gotta try the
so
brats and the
online's
brats
the
are
way to
good.
go. And you don't see many of these companies like they didn't really kind of invest in e-commerce, like the hot dog brands, like we did. Do you know what I'm saying? We got a
Yeah.
foot in the door
Yeah.
because eventually that's all it's going to be. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to be these. I think eventually the stores are going to be completely obsolete.
I'm gonna get back to the hot dogs, but
Yeah.
I was no joke. Yesterday I was scrolling TikTok and I see you the gem TikTok.
The jam, yeah.
Is that just like are you a gem guy?
I was a rodeo bar guy, and I actually owned the Mat. The rodeo bar was there for 23 years. Now I live on that block, and so I love to pop in there. And my TikTok, I do pretty good with TikTok. My TikTok handles This Is Michael Quinn. 32,000 followers for a guy my age.
That's good.
It's nothing to sneeze
bad,
at.
not
And I think
bad,
anything
not
more than
bad.
30,000, it's gonna be 9-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, it's respectable, you know. And you know, I've been working on a book called The Hot Dog Bible. I'm trying to get it published. You know, promoting it, and I'd love to have Tank write the forward. By the way, I think
Well,
that would be amazing.
So what are you writing about the dog?
The dog,
What's
I'm
the
going to write
dog
the
Bible?
history of Feltman's, but I'm going to have a bunch of recipes. I have so many great recipes, and it's called the Hot Dog Bible. Like, that's a sin, right?
Yep. No.
You know.
I don't get why is it such a big thing for ketchup to be on a hot dog?
That's what I was asking. Why is it a
should-
big thing? It shouldn't be.
But Chicago people, like, they'll freaking kill you
Yeah.
every time.
Chicago has to figure it the fuck out because they're not even hot dogs at some point. They put like pickles, like
They put
relish. They
the-
put so much on it. It's like,
some-
have a hot dog.
Well,
Yeah, they
this,
put
is,
some
this, is
hot
my,
dog to it.
this is my view
It's
on
more
it. This is
toppings.
my view. When Feltman invented the hot dog, all they had was mustard and sauerkraut and onions, okay? When you put ketchup on, especially a premium hot dog like that, you're overriding the taste. Now, our hot dogs, one of the spices we do have in there, we do have a little mustard mixed in with the spices. So you put the Feltmans down. I invented this here, this mustard. This is with apple cider vinegar, which it cures all ills. So I came up with that when I had a little takeout window in East Village when I relaunched Feltmans. That mustard, when you add it, it enhances the flavor of it. Ketchup overrides it. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
So it's
yeah.
like putting A1 steak sauce on a filet mignon.
Exactly. Like,
Yes.
why ruin it? Do you know what I'm saying? And when I worked at
ruin it.
McSorley's,
doesn't
Ale
really-
House,
you
that's
try
where I
the
learned
mustard?
how to make the
No, I
mustard.
don't like mustard.
Try the mustard.
Yeah, the mustard is good.
Do the mustard.
Do the mustard.
Do the
No, I like
mustard.
mustard.
Marty,
Do the mustard.
Do the mustard.
Try a little, it's good.
Do the
Why
mustard.
if Tank comes in? He's
No,
got a
no, just do a little last touch of mustard on that last little
Yeah,
piece
if
right there. No.
In, I'll
Yeah, dip it on that. Put it with
Just
the
dip,
ketchup.
dip it on
It'll
there. That's all we're
override it.
talking about. There you go.
I fucking hate all of it.
Just a little touch
Wow,
of
you're not a
mustard will
mustard
do
guy,
you well.
Marty?
No, never mustard.
Maybe the
There's
thing
a
is
lid
on.
There's a lid on. That's safety though.
That's safe.
Safety.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a question while I'm fucking putting the mustard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Does
Why
the
don't-
Gem sell hot dogs?
They don't. They don't sell hot dogs.
What do you think
No.
about corn dogs?
That's good if you're like a fair in Kentucky or something. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's corn.
So
It's
you
it's
think-
not a big thing. I mean, I have nothing against corn dogs. Do we do corn dogs? No. I love pigs in a blanket. I think. are great.
Oh, that's my favorite.
You know, you wrap
Pigs in
Feltmans,
a
and you can make them at
blanket
home,
sounds
man. You get your dough, and you cut up the Feltmans, and you know we've done that holiday time, and that's right on, man. Pigs in a blanket is just that's absolutely phenomenal.
They're delicious.
Is it the best mustard you've ever had in your life?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I learned to make the mustard when I worked at McSorley's when I was years ago. So I worked at McSorley's Ale House. They make the homemade mustard, right? And one of the funniest stories, I was at McSorley's. I don't know if you know this, the New York Giants football team. I don't know if they still do this, but the last game of the season, whenever it is, that Monday, they all go to McSorley's. But it's like no one really knows about it. So I'm working there one night with my buddy Greg, who still works there, and they had a midget convention at the Javits. Yeah, you know.
Blowing up their fucking
Blow it
spot.
up. So there was a midget convention at the Javits Center that weekend.
Oh.
So that Monday they had a group of midgets in the back and the New York Giants in the front. So everybody's like getting wasted. They wanted the midget to sit on their lap and stuff. It was just like it was ridiculous. But so how you like the mustard?
I mean, the dog was fantastic.
very
The
good
dog was fantastic. The mustard.
What's your competition on the Coney Island historian front? Are you the only one out there, or are
There's
there
a few
other-
others out there.
Okay.
But you know what the difference is? Like you see a lot of people who claim to be historians, but they're more like pseudo intellectuals. You know, they basically
Yeah,
a
like
lot
Tommy
of-
Smokes.
Yeah, they just read shit and then they repeat it. You see a lot of that on
They just
TikTok.
agree.
So a lot of people like my TikTok because I have some kind of connection to the history I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like the Limelight. I used to go to Limelight, my little brother. I tell stuff. All the people read about it and act like they know about it. So I do a lot of history stuff. So as far as you know, it's competition. I don't really look at competition. I know we're the best. Like when you know the best, we're in a field of our own. I think. You know.
In the dog world.
Yeah.
We got two history majors in here too.
Minus.
Minors, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a major.
Well, I was a high school English teacher. I taught also English, and one of my students was Pete Davidson. He was in my class, in my speech class, and I used to go see him when he had like 3 people at the New York Comedy Club by my apartment, and his act was pretty outrageous back then. You know, it was pretty funny. But yeah,
So you should get him. You should get Pete, Kim, and
Yeah,
Feltman.
send
to dog.
Pete some
yeah,
dogs.
I'm gonna maybe get him on the ferry. You know, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
get him on
he's
the ferry.
making the
and-
ferry club.
You know what you should do? You should get Pete to give Kim Kardashian some dogs and have her
that-
promote it.
That'd be nice, and she'd give him to Kanye. You know, we could have a whole big.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know
more.
if they're on
but yeah.
speaking terms, but yeah.
But I mean,
Bring
that
them
would be
together. Imagine
beneficial.
they all get back together and get along because of Feltmans.
because the dogs.
Exactly.
That should be my book.
Exactly.
Imagine that Feltman just spreads peace and harmony and fixes relationships. That's great marketing right there.
Then have Kanye write a rap about it.
That'll be amazing. Man. We got to get the Feltman's rap.
We got a guest commenter, Sully Soprano was asking.
I know Sully's one of my guys.
Sully Soprano was asking, where'd you teach high school exactly with Pete?
Zavarian High School.
Yep.
Wait, isn't that where Bosco went
Yeah.
to school?
Well,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Well, what are you doing here?
What?
Pete transferred his senior
Ah,
year.
you just-
He transferred to Zavarian.
Just doxing where people grew up?
No, he says that.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Since
All right.
Staten Island's got
He went to St. Pete's.
St. Pete's.
Okay.
St.
He
Pete's.
says
Golden
St. Pete
Eagles.
is
I'm just
all
making
the
sure.
time.
Just making sure.
He's. Well, I forgot if Sully Soprano is fucking Rico's just a crazy person. Well, honestly, that I have no more hot dog questions. I am full. Do you have anyone else have another question before we stop?
Yeah, how does it feel to be I want to no disrespect. How does it feel to be like the older guy on Murray Hill TikTok?
Well, first of all, I don't live in Murray Hill. That's the first thing. This is where you get. I live in Rose Hill. Murray Hill doesn't start to 34th Street. Okay. So basically, I got into TikTok because I'm a single dad. I have a daughter who was on Musical.ly, and I did it just to surveillance her because a lot of creeps out there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I started just posting little history things, and all of a sudden, it kind of took off a little bit. So it was just happenstance that I kind of started an account with TikTok, but people seem to like it. I mean, you know, I get great engagement, and I transferred over to Instagram. So basically, it's This Is Michael Quinn. This is Michael Quinn at TikTok. But I have fun with it. You know, I don't really, you know, I go to a lot of places, and I never lived anywhere but my life but New York City. So I go to these restaurants. I go to different places and
People
around
like
the
to
city.
hear
And
about it.
People love it because I've been around a long time, you know,
Yeah.
and I know I have knowledge. I don't have to read about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think people really, really take to that. And I bust people's chops a little bit. Like it's fun. You know, like with the Gem Saloon posts and stuff like that.
Is that a troll post? Because I
What?
took it offensively.
Which, well, but,
Do I look like the type of guy that would drink?
you don't look like a
Jameson?
finance pro. You do not look like a finance pro.
I keep habitat at the Gem Saloon on
Yeah.
Thursday nights. I like that place.
Oh, meet up. I live right there.
Oh, I'll meet
have
up
a
for a
couple
beer.
of pops, you know, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
I'm
idea.
more like the day crowd, you know, the older crowds during the day. There's like 3 people besides myself. But a lot of people bust the finance bros. I have no problem with the finance bros.
Oh yeah,
Like
Will,
they're
I
not-
could
they're
never
not
be
terrible.
one.
I mean, like I've seen a lot worse.
A lot of
than
my
them.
friends are probably them.
I'm an investor myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't mind finance bros, you know, but they get a bad rap because that's their clientele. So I just did a little kind of joke that they weren't gonna let them in for 2022, and it kind of took off. It went, I don't know, viral or whatever the hell you want to call it.
What's your favorite Wonder Years episode?
I don't remember. Man. I remember the first one. The first one that came out was after the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys are too young to remember. I don't know if you're alive. But when it came out, it was right after one of the Super Bowls was the first one.
Yeah, one of my
episode. But yeah.
No, one of my top guys was asking. He
Okay,
brought up
okay.
Fred Savage. He was
Fred,
asking.
yeah. But definitely check that. That's on my my TikTok also with Fred Savage's face as you see Frank and McSorley's. That was just a beautiful moment in time. Fred Savage and Tank,
boy wonder.
as Tank's ranting about hot dogs. You know, it was just
Winnie
a beautiful
Cooper,
thing captured.
phenomenally underrated.
Yeah.
So in this book, you're gonna almost have to thank Glenny Balls and Frank the Tank. Right?
Fact.
Like
Well,
that's
for
just
us,
like
yeah,
a help to the promotion almost.
Well,
no?
I had no idea what Barstool was until that time.
Until
Yeah.
balls.
So balls.
Yeah, Glenny. But you know what it is? I got a lot of great press in the early days. A little takeout window called Feltmans Kitchen on St. Mark's Place. It was a little tiny window. People would knock on it, and I'd hand them a hot dog. So everyone in the neighborhood called it the glory hole. So, and then that's where I got like
Nice.
Day 5, Gotham is best hot dog ever. New York Mag. So I kind of like was able to generate good press early on
Yeah.
before we became a national brand. But it was cool, you know. I think Barstool like the best partnership. Think about it, like guys like sports, like the drink beer and like the eat good
Hot
hot
dogs.
dogs, you know. So if you
Makes
want to
sense.
throw it out there, if Barstool wants to buy Feltmans,
You throw
bring
it
them
out
to the
right now.
table.
We have
Me
no
and Tank
say,
will hit the road.
but it's out
just
there.
throw it out there, the
You
universe,
threw it. You
manifest
threw
it,
it.
Exactly.
you know. And then Tank and I can hit the road like you know we have groupies
Rock
and
star, yeah.
a couple of rock stars.
Or
What's better than that?
we have people who can go in during their next negotiation with Dave Portnoy and throw that in there.
Yeah, at least you want to hear something funny? We did send him one when he had the gift unwrapping, right? So it was like we're like, oh my god, he's gonna eat them. Look, and he opens them up, and he looks at them and he goes, "Old Coney Island hot dogs," and he throws them in. So we use that as a quote.
Yeah.
Tank?
Might be tough just opening a package of hot dogs during the unboxing and
The
Get
day
good
before
press.
he had the sword, you know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he goes, "Oh, you could use the sword to cut the
There
hot
he
dogs."
is.
There's Tank. How you doing, buddy?
Take a seat, Tank.
Good to
He's
see you. Have a
right
seat.
there. He's right there.
It's right here, Tank. Just telling some stories, man. How we met and some good times about Hot Dog Nation.
Yes.
That's
How
how
we
we
doing,
met.
Tank?
All right.
We saved one for you. So here, put it in front of
Beautiful.
and get that ketchup out of here.
Yeah,
It's pissing
Tank.
me
I
off.
know
It's
you're
making
raw.
me nervous.
I know you're raw dogging.
I even brought the Feltmans. I stole the hot dogs from my mother, by the way.
Tank, can you give me a live review right now?
Oh, well, Feltman's, you know, look at this. Look at the way it is. The charring, that's always good. You know, it's always good to do a little bit of a toasting of the bun.
It's also the sexiest hot dog in the world.
Yeah, we
See the
didn't-
shape of it, the
It's
shine.
nice.
It's definitely a sex appeal,
And
Feltmans
it's got
hot dogs.
that great snap.
It's not
Yeah.
off the snap. It's the snap.
So
told
Tank,
you it's
I
the
was
snap.
telling the guys, if Barstool ends up buying Feltmans, the two of us could hit the road like a couple of rock stars, right? We'd have groupies. We do tailgate parties, right, for like a year, just to build it, you know, because I think, and I said we would put like if we would put Dan, what's his name, Blazarian to shame.
Yeah.
Like, we'd make him look like an altar boy.
Tank, let me
The
ask you a
groupies that
question.
we'd have.
Is this one of your favorite hot dogs? But two, how many hot dogs do you think you've reviewed?
Well, I do hot dog reviews at home. Like I pick up a store brand or something like that and try them.
Mm-hmm.
And by far, I think Feltmans is probably the best you could buy in the store. I really wish it was worked out more places.
In restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to get it out more in restaurants, which is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
1,000.
What's the grade on this hot dog? You know, the temperature, the char, everything about it.
Yeah, I want a full raw dog in review right now.
Well, you grilled it, right?
Well, the hot dog is very well cooked. I would definitely give this hot dog definite home run.
Home run.
Okay.
9.8?
9.3.
Oh, I'll take it.
Frank, what's your favorite Facebook hot dog community?
Yeah, well, you were in a Facebook group of hot dogs.
It might be the Hot Dog Nation of New Jersey. Hot
Okay.
dog group.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that one as well.
That's where we met. That's how
Yeah.
we connected. Hot Dog
Oh, that's
Nation.
cool.
Match made in heaven.
And I introduced him to McSorley's. I introduced him to Feltmans. That was a fun day. And I
And
remember
Frank-
Fred Savage was in the
Yes, in the background.
back.
You
He's like,
said,
what is going
and you
on?
say no condiments at all ever,
I don't like condoms.
I forgot I gave you the mustard.
ever.
Yeah.
No.
Just always raw.
Now, if I go to a place and their specialty is chili dogs, I'll do the chili dog review.
Okay.
Now, what about Rutt's Hut with the top? I love their relish at Rutt's Hut.
I just
You
don't
know-
like relish.
You know, I don't like it either, but I like Rutt's Hut. You ever go to Rutt's Hut? Their
No,
relish
I've
is
never
just.
been. I've only
oh
watched
my
his
God,
reviews.
Oh,
it's
Rutt's
so
Hut
good.
is like
The best place in Jersey, I'd say. They use Thumans, they deep fry. It's different than Feltman's. It's more
Yeah.
of a deep fry, you know. But they're
well,
they're
I've deep
legendary.
fried. I have deep fried Feltmans.
Did they blow up? They explode? Because usually we don't put all those chemicals that other brands do, where they can't really sometimes withstand
Yeah.
deep frying because it's it's real beef. It's not processed, you know, like highly processed.
I actually
stuff.
like when the skin pops.
You do like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rutt's does that.
Well, they do with the Thumans. It's beef pork mix, and they actually put something in there, a chemical that helps it with its. You know, I think it's the same thing that NASA uses for the spaceship.
You know,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
it's
Yeah.
people. I was at a famous hot dog place, not the famous hot dog place, recently, but it's a well-known place in New York. And the hot dog was good, except they cut the damn thing in the middle.
I hate that. Shake Shack does that. And
Was
one
it a
guy-
Vienna beef?
Was that?
Was it Vienna
Was
beef?
it Shake Shack?
No.
Okay.
Well, I've tried Shake Shack.
I scream at people like, you know, when I get like a dirty water dog and the guy wants to cut. I like the spicy ones are good. And the guy takes up the knife and says, "Don't you do that! Drop the knife!" And I scream
Just
at them.
like, yeah.
And they look at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, "Don't cut my
Yeah,
hot dog
don't cut
in half."
don't cut the hot dog.
Like it
You
really
heard it
pisses me
here.
off.
Do not cut the hot dog. All right, last
Leave it
question,
alone.
Frank. Last question before we got to get out of here. If you are on your deathbed, you're gonna die tomorrow. You go hot dog?
Sure, why not?
Is that like your last meal you want?
Well, if I'm on death row, I'd probably want a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Throw a little dog on top.
We'll throw a dog in there.
And
for
how about a
you.
pig and blanket, Feltman's?
I
As an
like
app,
pig
you know,
and
that's-
blanket.
as an app.
Clem, we should throw out some
Last
Clem
comment.
Now,
swishies
with
here.
swish
Yeah.
wishes?
I want to. I think that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Comment,
I like to keep
swishes,
it home.
the
Yeah.
pigs in the blanket, that's a Thanksgiving meal in my opinion.
Yeah.
Appetizer.
Yeah.
But
If
a
you have that at the
Thanksgiving
table, you're a
appetizer.
scumbag.
Yeah, but the swish,
Why am I
you know what I'm
scumbag?
talking about.
Yeah,
the
you
little
can't have
ones,
it.
It's great.
You can't have it at the
Yeah.
table. Like
Oh, no,
appetizer,
no.
you could have.
Appetizers.
By the
no.
way, it's
But it's a
Walters.
Thanksgiving one.
Walters. I've been there.
All
they
right.
cut it.
That
that's
is,
up-
so much
Mar-
hot dog.
Mar-
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to
Cut
be
it.
here for the next
That's
hour.
a Chinese restaurant.
Just talking
Yeah.
off camera.
Yeah,
That's Mush the Line. Thank you,
Thanks.
Michael, for coming in.
Check
Frank.
out wienermag.com
Thank you for
with two E's
doing.
if you can.
Show it out.
This is Michael Quinn.
Shout it
Instagram.
all out. Yep.
Instagram, Feltmans Hot Dogs. Instagram, social media.
Go buy at Whole Foods
Whole
online
Foods,
as well.
nationwide, Feltmans.us.
And of course,
Watch Frank the Tank's podcast.
Yep.
Tell him.
yep.
Sponsored by Feltmans.
Allow Me to Be Frank is brought to you by Feltmans. You know, you can use promo code Frank, get 10% off.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All
Sounds
right,
good.
Tank. Thanks for eating the hot dog. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Out and About. Peace.
Thank you.